Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this brand new day. Yay! I feel slightly, ever so slightly better than I did yesterday. If yesterday I was like at this level, today I'm like at this level. And that's not bad, that's an improvement. When I got out of bed this morning, my sinuses did not immediately fill up. I've still been having to blow my nose. It's still filling up, just slower. I'm not having to cough as much. Last night when I went to bed, laying down at first was difficult. Because when you go from vertical, all of your fluids in your body, especially at the end of the day, because of gravity, because we've been upright, most of the fluids in your body have settled downward into your lower extremities. If not there, the lower part of your abdomen. Gravity has pulled stuff down. It does that. That's, we all lose the battle with gravity eventually. But when you lay down, that means all of those fluids that were in your lower body suddenly, through gravity and just the fact that you've gone from this to this, all the fluid down here starts redistributing throughout the rest of your body. And if you're flat, suddenly you're going to go from being clear and not much fluid up here to a whole bunch of fluid, liters of fluid flowing up this direction into your chest and your head. That can be very frightening for some people, especially if you're sick. So, if you can, and you're sick, raise the head of your bed just a little bit. A little bit. Because this helps keep the fluid from accumulating up here, but you don't want it too high, because then instead of just laying flat, there's still that slope, and then things are starting to accumulate in the base of your lungs again. Now, the big issue with pneumonia and how you get pneumonia and why that's pooling liquids in your lungs is an issue. I didn't explain fully why pneumonia is bad yesterday. Pneumonia, of course, is just an illness where we are filled with microorganisms, trillions upon trillions of cells that aren't us, but they also help us live. We have a symbiotic relationship with them. We have our own microflora and microfauna filling our lungs. When you have liquids pool inside of your lungs, that makes a nice, moist, all these things love moisture and heat. Nice, moist, warm, very wet environment. I know moist, but the extra fluids, extra wet. So they start growing like crazy. That's the problem. They start overgrowing. Your own microflora and microfauna get overly big, overly large, overly aggressive, start taking over. And then the next thing you know, you've got a horrible infection in your lungs. And that can kill you. Even today, pneumonia is not funny. The very young, the very old are at most risk, but, everything is a bell curve. So even if you're healthy, 80% of the people are going to be fine. It's the outliers on the edges of the bell curve that are going to have issues. So, yay on that. Two things I'm doing today. I'm going in, I have a 9:30 appointment. It was 2 o'clock, but they had to reschedule. 9:30 appointment to get my upper dentures There's a soft liner to help them fit. So they're going to take an impression of my gums right now for my upper palate and then apply that to the plate, and so it'll fit for about 6 months. But at least I'll be able to eat and talk without slurring around it as badly. So that's good. But that means it's 7:21 now. So as soon as I'm done recording, I have to hurry up and start editing so I can hurry up and start rendering so I can hurry up and upload so I can make it to my 9:30 appointment. I am so glad. It is 4 minutes and 40 seconds and I am not hacking and dying. I have been coughing. I've been clearing my lungs. It hasn't been wonderful, but it's been so much better than yesterday. There's a slight burr, but it doesn't hurt like it did yesterday. I feel it here, not as bad as I did yesterday. Even in fact, when I laid down last night and was starting to feel nasty, awful, extra congestion in my lungs, when I leaned up onto my elbow, it was clear. Absolutely 100% clear. So I went from freaking out about, am I going to have to get up and walk so that my lungs will clear down, to, oh, okay, I'm just clear. That's just the momentary accumulation of fluids. Lay back down, able to go to sleep. Definitely a thumbs up. But there was still anxiety. It took a long time to get to sleep, but I slept all the way through until my alarm went off, because I set my alarm because I've got my appointment today. So thumbs up for that. So, yes, I'm playing fast and loose with the health of others around me by going to appointments when I'm ill. But if you're on the recovering side, you're not really contagious anymore. I mean, you're always going to be contagious, but your maximum contagion point is gone, and it's in the past. Before your illness peaks is pretty much when your contagiousness peaks. And by the time you're feeling better, it's already dropped off and is going down. So that's good. But they also wear rubber gloves, masks. So I'm not too worried. I'm going to let them know. But it took a month almost for this appointment. Almost. I can't wait another month. They will break by that time. Because right now, these upper dentures connect here, here, and that's it. Everything else is free floating. And that means whenever I bite anything, it's having to wobble, and those are all stresses. And stresses make them crack like they already did once. So thumbs up for that. As for parasocial relationships, I've got one story and then one thing that's a different story, but first I'll start with this one. I've talked before about how I've got this little spider up there in the juncture between wall and ceiling. She's gotten a little bit bigger, her web is moved a little bit further down and out. I mentioned before how there was this one aggressive spider that was just running all around up there, being very aggressive toward that one spider, and I was worried. I didn't want her to just get eaten. Again, parasocial relationship. I feel affection towards that spider. That spider, if it even knows I'm alive, feels nothing towards me. But because of that, because of my affection towards just a spider that's just up there, because it's been there a couple days now, and I'm a human being. So when that spider yesterday came back and was being super aggressive, like came down below this one and was building a web underneath it in a very aggressive fashion, I went, oh, this is just, I'm not going to watch this anymore. This is a play this is awful. So I got my back scratcher. The back scratcher that you have only to look at sideways, and I'll be first to gut you like a trout. Or like that video that I did on that, because it popped into my head one day to be silly. But I used my back scratcher, reached up, snagged the one aggressive spider, and boop, out the window. I went bonk, and this time when I brought it back up, it had dangled off of a web, so it didn't let go entirely when I went bonk. So then I just had to snag it on the windowsill, and so it's outside, and it's aggressive, it just wants to live too. It's not trying to be mean or cruel or vicious, it just wants to live. I mean, with the parasocial relationship with that spider up there, I feel bad for it. Again, I talked about this yesterday, I think, where there's food in here, the window's open, there's bugs flying everywhere. There's not bugs flying everywhere. It's just that generally if I look up, I can see a flying insect. Less now because it's getting cooler. But compared to outside, I've mentioned before, it's a desert. And so I feel bad for the spider up there. But on the same hand, it's like it's not my responsibility, especially since it doesn't even know I'm alive. So I just have to let nature take its course. If it's going to stay there, then either it's going to find food and survive, or it's going to keep on moving and not, or stay and not, or move and continue to survive. There's a whole bunch of different options there. Point being, though, I don't know if that's really a good spot. I just hope it lives. But again, parasocial relationships. Now, one of the other reasons that I stopped down and paused is there is a person who has a channel, and they kind of pronounce their username as Greg, but it's pronounced it's spelled J-R-E-G. But he'll say, "Hi, I'm Greg," with a J-R-E-G up on there. And he basically talks about politics. And he does politics in a way that he says, like, we need to kill all the centrists. We just need to gather together. Everyone needs to be an extremist, because if you're a centrist, that is just maintaining the status quo, and the status quo has to change. So what we need to do is just get together and kill all the centrists. Now, of course, he's just being satirical. And he talks about politics, how, there's the idea of the horseshoe, where the left-wing radicals and the right-wing radicals are really close because they're on the ends of this horseshoe. But he just says, no. He likes the donut method better, where all the extremists just kill the centrists. But then he just goes on and he talks about various types of government, and he does all these various silly things, and he's really goofy. But occasionally he does these videos that aren't goofy. He talked about his relationship with fame. And he's saying, I got 100,000 subscribers, and that's not famous, but it's more famous than he had been. And he'd been set up as a child, do this, you'll be famous, do that, you'll be famous, you're going to be famous. And so his whole life, because of what he'd been told as a kid, was based around being famous. But now he's 22, and he doesn't know what to do with his life. He didn't know where his life was going. He's suffering from depression. He's got all this going on, but in the midst of him being very super serious about that, he's also at the same time got his other persona who's taking the wind out of his sails in a clown costume. But then the clown costume guy gets really serious at times, and it is just, he's a very, very interesting individual. Hopefully in one of these corners, I can't remember which one it is, I'll have a link to his channel. So, thumbs up if you like oddness mixed in with like seriousness, because the stuff he does is good. It's just when he actually gets serious, it's heavy duty. Another thing that I wanted to talk about in life, there's this one channel from a guy called Frame Rater. He's fairly young, his hair's like mine in length. There's a lot. I think it's weird. When I was younger, everybody had long hair. All the guys had long hair. All the people, not long hair, but it was like longer than this, and guys like longer hair. And then once I started getting like up into my 30s, everyone started getting buzz cuts again. And now of course there's people with longer hair. Of course there's a lot of people with shorter hair, but it's just so weird to see younger people with buzz cut hair like mine is now. I've never understood that, but then there you go. But he's been doing something that I think is both silly, pointless, and just so absolutely endearing, and like 2005 YouTube. He's going through and talking about the various weapons in the first Serious Sam game. He did one episode all about the knife, and it's just talking about the knife and the damage the knife does and what it's good for and what it's not. And now he's talking about the Colt pistols. And it's like, that is so early YouTube. It's amazing. It's definitely a thumbs up. I admire his stick-to-itiveness, his intensity, not intensity, but his stick-to-itiveness and desire to do things, and he's doing them. Definitely a thumbs up. I did not partake in any cannabis products this morning, and so I do not know how clear I'm clear, but I'm gonna have to take some cannabis products here soon because I'm really hurting and I gotta make it to the dentist. I just didn't want to irritate my lungs beforehand. Oh no, I forgot to open up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. But right now, as I speak, I'm opening up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. And I am going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. Now, if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. I do my best. And it's a range of 20 to 25 because especially now I'm still sick. I mean, I'm doing better, but I'm still sick. So I lose track because even though I count American Sign Language, I mean, I'm amazed I'm doing this well right now. I can't remember what else I normally say, so I'm just going to call up my Chrome and we'll get started. So Ice Damon, greatly appreciated, and Hokey Smokes. Everybody online is sick. I have been talking to so many people that are sick. It's bizarre. Ask the South Park Youth, hashtag ATSPY, South Park Q&A, thumbs up and thank you. Mahiki32, thumbs up, greatly appreciated. Amanda Bennett, thumbs up and thank you. George Havenhand, thumbs up and thank you. Mr. Do Things, the vlogger, that's a heck of a name, I like that, thumbs up and thank you. Paul Helberg, greatly appreciated. 365 Days, thumbs up and thank you. It's Sleazy, greatly appreciated. And Russian Timing, greatly appreciated. Kathy Kisscat, yeah, being sick sucks. A Lemon Pie 407, thumbs up and thank you. Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Sahari Uroshai, oh, I'm nowhere close, but thank you so very much. And Confused Owl, 29, thumbs up and thank you. 121212, greatly appreciated. Caillou Ram Boss, thumbs up and thank you. And Tall Dude, 123. Oh boy, everybody is sick. Layla Lady, thumbs up and thank you. And Bruno Winofsky, greatly appreciated. Pop Fizzle, thumbs up and thank you. And Colin Reisenauer, good to see you in the comments. Type, thumbs up and thank you. Capucci Paul, greatly appreciated. And last but not least, Drew, thumbs up and thank you. Each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is a very good thing. Definitely a thumbs up. Whoa, Hokey Smokes, that actually went faster than I thought it would. So I actually don't know if, yeah, this is going to be a short one today. Because I got to get stuff done, and I really can't think of anything more to say now that that's done. So, if you could, check out my various links. I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign, or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. Unfortunately, I always need help monetarily. If you could help, that would be awesome. Now, as stated, if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, a definite thumbs up. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Definitely a thumbs up. This is a gram of cannabis concentrate. As you can see, it's kind of separated by color. And the consistency right now is, if I leave it like that, it's fine. It will slowly flow. It changed a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, if you can see how it flowed a little bit. This is like $10. I bought this at the beginning of the month. It's because it's so wet and sloppy. I haven't really done anything with it. Which is to say, gotten dab sticks, heated up my thing, and then put the concentrate into the hot nail or bucket, and then inhaled the hot oil vapors. I just thought I'd show that. And of course, budget weed. This stuff is, I've seen some, there was this person called Mac Dizzle where she did a thing where she showed a $10 eighth versus a $60 eighth, and the $10 eighth that she put down looked so much better than this cheap budget weed. This is mostly sticks and stems and sugar leaves, and sucks not having money, and it sucks requiring cannabis for pain control. I still don't feel anything up here but just a vague sense of goodwill. Well, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. I got to get this thing rendered and, well, edited, rendered, and then uploaded so I can get to my appointment.